I can't say that you are of sound body and mind.
Fair enough.
Because I'm not qualified to do that, am I?
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist.
Fair enough.
I don't know anything about your medical background. You know what I mean? You could be an absolute fucking lunatic and want to come in here and fucking start hacking away at fucking panels and stick your hand in a fucking live thing or whatever. I don't know, do I?
Well,
I'll look forward to seeing it on your YouTube channel.
So I've come to let...
Police are on their way.
I've come to let you know. Excuse me. Hey folks, we're here at a power station today. Foyers power station. It says 5 MW on it, which I assume is 5 megawatts. It's a hydro power station. And we're going to have a little walk around, see if we can find someone to speak to. For two reasons. One, to let them know that I'm going to be flying the drone in the area. And two, just to check if there are any particular safety issues with flying around power stations that they might want to alert me to. Now, obviously, I've checked all of this in advance, but I want to see what they say, because I'm going to give them the opportunity to make stuff up about why you can't fly drones here if they are so inclined. All right, let's pop in. Let's not pop in. Okay, there's a chance this might be an unmanned facility. Hey guys, are you anything to do with the power station, or are you construction?
The power station's further down.
What's this place?
It's the old Alcan, aluminium.
Ah, further along that way?
Ah, you've got another half a mile.
Power station's down that way, yeah.
Right, is it, how far do you say?
About half a mile or something.
Half a mile. I will drive it. Thanks guys. Strange, because when I got here, it didn't look anything like I expected to, because I've been to the actual power station before. And if I remember, it's like a building down at the end of a long driveway with Loch Ness just over the side of the driveway, or over a wall at the side of the driveway. Certainly very close to the power station, whereas this isn't. So I trust my memory so little that I thought I might have got it confused with somewhere from Grand Theft Auto. And I thought, I'm actually at the right place. And I'm remembering a place from a video game. But no, turns out I am actually in the wrong place. All right, I will see you in a few minutes. I'm going to do that thing where you put your hand over your lens and then reveal where you are. So cheerio. And we are here. It still doesn't look quite how I remembered it. So there's a very real possibility that I'm remembering a place in a video game. So this is the Foyers 300 MW power station. By now you'll know if MW does mean megawatts, because I'll have put it up on the screen earlier. And if it doesn't mean megawatts, I'm going to look a bit ignorant. But what else is new? No admittance to unauthorized persons. I will need to go and ask them for authorization. And I believe the best place to find them will be at the end of this road. So the pedestrian access route, signposted there, is this rough ground, which probably isn't very good if you have difficulties walking, if you need to use a walking stick, or if you need to use a wheelchair. They haven't really done the best job with making this pedestrian area pedestrian friendly for all pedestrians. This is the place I thought it was. Okay, I'm not going crazy. I am not mixing up video games with real life. We will continue along the pedestrian access route of rough gravel, or stones rather, not gravel. And now we will have to leave the safety of the pedestrian area and walk across the terrifying road area. Well, that looks interesting. Wonder what's in there. It's a really long tunnel. Ooh. Okay, that just reminds me of places in Half-Life. I think I'm obsessed with video games today. Okay, we have a watcher, an observer. Hello. No, exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm going to be doing some drone flights in the area. I'm just wanting to make sure if there are any particular safety issues with being around a power station.
Yes. Who are you? Are you from SSE or are you?
No, independent. I'm a news photographer. Just getting some stock images of the building.
Right. You do know that you're supposed to be authorised to go past the point. There's a big sign at the end there that says no unauthorised persons past that point.
Okay, so I needed to come along obviously to find out if I can be authorised to come through here.
Yeah.
But even so, I'd have the right of way to come through on foot, wouldn't I? I won't be able to drive through.
Not through here, no.
Why not?
Because this is SSE property, is it? This isn't. You can't get through here. There's gates at the far off end. We've got a high voltage compound at the end.
Rightio.
So not very safe to be around.
Okay. Well,
275,000 volts.
Yeah. Anywhere that you point out that's not safe, I'll avoid it.
But the sign at the end should tell you that you're not allowed in here. It says no unauthorised personnel past that point.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, with the greatest respect to yourself, it's some words on a board.
Well, it's not, is it?
Well,
it's a sign there to keep people safe, isn't it?
And it's a sign that's saying you're not allowed to come onto the site.
Yes.
But people are allowed to walk onto the site if they want.
If they're authorised.
Okay.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Right.
I have to do this quite often. Come onto sites where there's no entry signs, and you are allowed to walk on. So anyway, as far as obviously the drone's not going to be on the site. The drone's going to be in the air above the site. Are there any particular issues you're aware of with flying around a power station? Is there any discharge into the air or anything from any gases?
High voltage at the back end here,
Right. I mean, the drone won't be near anything, but for instance, the other day I was photographing oil tankers, and they'd asked me to stay more than 50 meters above them because there's a gas discharge.
Right.
So that's a good tip that I didn't know about. Is there anything here that someone who doesn't work in the electricity industry wouldn't know about?
Not that I'm aware of. There is height restrictions that you should keep safety distances away, depending on the voltages.
Okay. What would those distances
I would need to look at them up.
Okay.
I'll tell you offhand.
Okay, fair enough.
But generally, throughout I think it's 5 meters away from it.
Oh, it'll be way more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 times that.
Yeah.
Right. Okie dokie then. So, could you point out to me the particular
I'm
bit?
not really happy to let you go further past here. I'll have a word with my manager.
Okay.
And if he's happy, that's entirely up to him.
Right,
I don't really care. But to me, we've been told, because it's a power station, there are certain safety risks. You can understand that yourself.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just let anybody wander about here. I mean, if someone's to lean over there and decide to jump into there, you'll get dragged through the turbines and chopped up into a million bits.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
If they were doing that, I assume that's their goal.
What's that?
They'd obviously be wanting to put themselves in harm's way if they jumped into the lock from
But I
here.
don't know you. I don't know if you're wanting to put yourself into harm's way to do it.
I assure you I'm not.
But I'm sure they'd say that as well too, wouldn't they? You know, I can't answer these questions. I can't say that you are of sound body and mind.
Fair enough.
Because I'm not qualified to do that, am I?
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist.
Fair enough.
I don't know anything about your medical background. You know what I mean? You could be an absolute fucking lunatic and want to come in here and fucking start hacking away at fucking panels and stick your hand in a fucking live thing or whatever. I don't know, do I?
Okay.
That's a fair comment though, isn't it?
I would disagree that that's a fair comment because the majority of people...
I don't know you, you've just walked in here and you're not really sort of listening to anything that I'm saying to you.
I'm listening to everything you're saying.
I don't think you are because you keep sort of try and find ways of ignoring what I'm telling you.
It's not that, mate. It's...
That's what it sounds like to me. To me, I'm pointing out safety aspects to do with this site. By all means, you wait here and I'll go and speak to my manager. If he's happy for you to wander about...
I don't want to wander about.
I don't care.
No interest in wandering about.
Well, that's what you're doing just now.
Well, no, I've come down to speak to someone. It's the first time I've flown a drone around.
Right, well, you didn't say that the first time, because that's what I said. This is, what are you doing here? Who you're working for? Who are you with? And you just said, I'm coming down here to have a look about because I'm flying a drone. You never said, I'm looking for permission to do this, that.
I am quite certain I didn't say that. Didn't. I said, I'm not looking for permission. I've got the permission to do it. I'm coming down to, let you know, from the Aviation Authority.
But this site here?
Yeah.
Aviation Authority have said you can come onto Foyers Power Station and have a wander about.
Anywhere around here.
Onto private property?
No. The Aviation Authority has got nothing to do with a person walking onto private property.
Yes.
They authorise the drone flights in the airspace above the private property.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you on the airspace or are you on the ground?
I'm on the ground here to talk to another human being.
Yes.
To find out.
Which is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Right? And I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But to me, if anybody else comes on the site, they will phone SSE, they will get in touch with corporate, or they'll get in touch with the manager here.
Okay.
They will come, they will visit him, they'll have an appointment booked with him. He'll say, yes, on you come on site, I'll show you where I want you to go, or where you're wanting to see. I can make sure you do that safely.
Okay.
Because that's what it's all about, okay? I'm not doing this to be a prick. The reason I'm doing this is because you've got 275,000 bolts around the corner there.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're doing. Yes, you've told me this. I haven't seen any ID, I haven't seen any proof, I haven't seen any identification. Okay. We've got protocols here that I have to go through as well too. You've got to understand that.
I understand that, mate,
right.
yeah.
So if you want to wait here, I will get in touch with my manager. He can come down and speak to you if you want.
Can I come and speak to him?
Well, if you wait in the foyer...
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll take you in.
Didn't seem any point dragging him out into the cold.
Well, he might not want you to wander about by yourself. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Okay. I don't know. He's the landlord here, not me.
Okay,
right?
Fair enough. Right.
If I let you go on there and you do something stupid, it's me that gets into trouble. Okay?
Understood, yeah.
Because I haven't challenged you, I haven't stopped you.
You have challenged me
but
beyond what I would expect.
Yeah, but that's my point. But you've got to understand, high voltage, big machines here. If you get caught up in them, you're fucking dead.
Right.
Right. That's the reason I'm stopping you and I'm asking you these questions.
Okay.
I'm not being a prick, it's for your safety.
Okay.
That's the reason why I'm doing it, okay?
Right. You made a valid point that you don't know anything about my mental state, my background or anything, but if you're going off now to find a manager, I could be just straight out that door and round to do something dangerous.
Well, then I'll take you out the gates and I'll lock the gate, will I?
Right. I don't think that'll be necessary. I'll wait here for the manager.
Are you sure? Because you've actually put doubt in my mind now. You're saying that.
You don't need to have any doubts. The reason that I'm perhaps coming across as taking this quite lightheartedly is I have conversations like this with people every day.
That's fine, but...
So I'm quite used to this, whereas it's probably a new experience for you, having to sort of challenge someone.
Well, I've never had anybody come in on site and say they can do this, that and the next thing without first getting in contact with somebody here.
I mean, with fairness, I haven't come on the site saying I can do this, that and the other. I've come onto the site
but you're saying you're going to have a wander about having a look at things and see what's safe.
No.
That's what you said when you first came in there.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You did.
Okay, let me put it this way. That's not what I'm intending to do, so I wouldn't have come on the site and told you it was.
So what are you intending to do then?
To fly the drone around the area to photograph the building.
Yes, but you said you're wanting to have a look, make sure there's nothing you can fly the drone into.
No, I said I'd come to ask someone if there are any particular safety concerns about flying drones around power stations.
Well, that's what I mean by that. If you fly a drone at an HV conductor, that's a safety concern, isn't it?
Right. I mean, obviously, flying the drone into something wouldn't happen anyway.
I'm not going to be pedantic with you.
Right.
I'm just giving you examples here.
And I give you the example, for instance, with oil tankers of not flying within 50 metres of them.
Tanker.
Exactly. So I need to know from you. I'm not the expert. I know nothing about this. I know drones.
We're seeming to be going round and round. So
You're the expert. I'm asking you, is there any particular safety concern?
Told you
like, for instance, you mentioned the 5 metres.
This is not my site. I am not the landlord here.
Okay, right.
But I have a duty of care to people that come on site that shouldn't be here and don't know anything about a power station to challenge them.
And you have done. Yes. And I've explained why I'm here and I've asked you questions and you've given me some helpful answers.
Yes. Right, hold on. Hi Andy, can you come down here for a minute and just stay with this gentleman just now and I'll go upstairs and get a hold of Peter or Colin, please? No bother, I'll just be a couple of minutes. Right, once Andy comes down here, and he can look after you, and then I'll go up and get Peter, and
Right, Joe.
he can deal with it.
It's good there'll be somebody here to look after me.
If you're permitted to go around the site, yes, there will be.
I'm not looking for permission to go around the site. I'm not sure why that impression has come over. I'm quite sure it's nothing I've said, because I'm not looking.
Of course it is.
I'm not looking
Why
to go
would
around
I
the
say,
site.
you were saying you were wanting to walk round there and have a look where your drone's going to be flying.
No, I haven't. Okay, let me put it a different way.
Well,
I don't want to walk around there.
Right, so what are you wanting to do here? Why have you come in here?
For exactly the reason I've said a few times now. I wanted to come and...
To me, that is the reason you've said.
No, I wanted to come and speak to someone who works here to find out, are there any specific safety concerns with flying a drone near a power station?
That's not what you said to me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying now. Let's forget about the conversation up to this
He
point.
doesn't go wandering off anywhere. And if he does, just...
Never actually been in this building before. It's quite interesting.
Sorry, can you stay?
Oh, I was just going over to have a look at that.
Yeah, I know. No, just
Is this not like a reception area?
that's the reception area.
Okay. That presumably is put there for like people visiting to be able to see though.
Yes, but at the moment I'll just wait until Wayne's spoken to
Okay.
them upstairs. Nobody can get in unless they're invited.
Okay, fair enough. Wayne seems to be Wayne.
No, security here. You
Indeed.
did pass the sign saying no admittance.
I know, but I had to come along and speak to someone. You couldn't shout.
No, that's fair enough. I understand that, but I'm not saying anything with that thing's pointing at me.
Oh, the body cam.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't worry about it, mate. I run into so much hassle flying drones for a living.
No, I can imagine.
I keep, and also you'd be amazed the places the hassle turns up.
Yeah.
Like coming here, you think you're going to run into a bunch of professionals, you're not going to have any hassle. Same thing working up at a residence up in Foyers a few weeks ago. It's so much hassle. You get it. There's no point trying to second guess whether you're going to get trouble or not.
No, I know we're not allowed to fly drones.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason why?
No, not like you're not saying that we're not allowed to fly them here, but like as for professional use, we've taken somebody to fly a drone.
Okay,
We won't fly them ourselves.
Right.
Even if we have them ourselves,
right.
we won't take them to work and fly them. We're not allowed to.
Okay,
Company policy is no drones.
okay. Is that because of a particular safety issue around
No,
a
it's just
power station?
The licensing and issues along that lines, I presume, but
Okay.
it's not the done thing for us here. But
Right. Oh, that's fair enough. It'd be quite interesting actually to arrange a time to come back here and actually have a look around.
no, well that's it. If it's you'll get a totally different response from us if the bosses upstairs say it's okay for you to come in and film and do things
Okay.
outside of that. But for us, as the guys at the bottom of the ladder, we're not allowed to come and say, yeah, come in, film what you want.
Fair enough.
That's not particularly not on me, because
Right.
I am not anybody that's going to step out of line before they've spoken. So.
No, you're quite right. I'm not sure how there was such a communication issue with Wayne, because I was quite clear why I was asking. Actually, for my own interest, when I get home, I'll look back on my body cam footage to see if I have said something that gave him the impression I wanted to walk around the site, because it wouldn't be of any advantage to me to walk around the site. I'd be flying a drone. If anything, it'd be a disadvantage. Hello.
Hi.
Are you the boss? you have
Can
been
be.
summoned.
Is that recording?
It is, yeah.
Do you mind turning it off?
No, I'm going to keep it on just because.
No.
Well, I've explained to your colleague. I just.
Right. Okay, I'll have to ask you to leave if you're recording me and you're not telling me why.
I'm quite happy to tell you why. I have my body cam on all the time.
Right.
So it's just I'd had this same conversation with your colleague. It felt silly just sort of repeating myself, but obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just.
Can we step outside?
Absolutely, so yeah. Yeah, it's just because I work with drones for a living, and a lot of people are very opposed to drones, and you will randomly be doing something one day and you'll have someone be up in your face, very aggressive. So a few weeks ago I've been doing it for years, but a few weeks ago just decided to start wearing a body cam. I'm not expecting any trouble here, obviously.
No, you're certainly not getting
yeah.
in trouble, but I've got to reiterate, I'm not comfortable being filmed because I don't know what purpose you're going to use it for.
It's just for my own protection. Like, for example, I was just saying to your colleague there.
Under GDPR, how can I have access to that footage?
Under GDPR, you're not entitled to the footage because I'm an individual. It only applies to organisations. Under a gentleman's agreement, if you want the footage, you're welcome to it. I'm not going to be awkward about it.
Can we take a step back? What can I help you with?
Right.
What is it you want?
So what I've been asking Wayne if I'm going to be flying a drone in the area. That's it. I've got all the authorisation. I need to do it.
So you've got a civil aviation licence.
Absolutely. Well, it's not a licence. You don't get licences from the CAA. I can explain the process to you if you want, but I've got all the clearance and all the paperwork I need. I'd come down to speak to a person here, find out if there was any particular safety issues with flying a drone around a power station. I asked Wayne about this. I'm not entirely sure why. I was just saying to your colleague, I'm actually going to look back at my body cam footage later to see if I said anything that gave him the wrong impression. Because he's under the impression I'm wanting to walk around the site when I'm not. My reason for being here is to speak to someone such as yourself and then walk back along that way. He's thinking I'm wanting to go along that way, and he's talking about all these things about saying he doesn't know what my mental health is. I might be wanting to put my hand in something electric. I'm not sure what was going on in Wayne's head, to be honest. But anyway, that's why I'm here, to have a 1-minute conversation with someone and then get my job done and get out of here. And it's proved a little bit more difficult than I expected.
I think perhaps the way things have been approached are quite unorthodox. So nobody knew you were coming on site?
No, I didn't know I was coming on site till today.
Right, okay. So obviously this is an energy installation, it's part of national infrastructure.
Yeah.
So when people just walk onto site wearing body cam, it immediately raises suspicion.
Okay.
Why are they recording it? What is the purpose of the recording? Where is that recording being used?
Right.
Is it information and intelligence gathering?
It isn't, and there's no need to worry about
It's
it.
a power station, it's not a library. So when
Okay.
people come on site recording, it does create creates an atmosphere where I need to understand who you are and what you're doing and why you're recording.
Okay, I'm a news photographer. I take pictures of pretty much every building around Inverness.
Right.
This is the one I was driving past today. I was up doing a place up in Upper Foyers, and remember there's a power station near here, and drove down.
Getting back to your initial question, yes, there is safety implications because there's an open bus bar. There's an electricity substation at the end of the building, which has uninsulated conductors.
Right. I don't know what a bus bar is. Could you point out any particular things I shouldn't fly anywhere near? Like Wayne has said, don't fly within 5 meters of it, but no one flying a drone is going to be flying within probably 50 meters of it. Because there's no point,
I've got more questions than answers, I'm afraid. So we use drones as a business. We do surveying as a business. But that's for specific purposes. It's not for public consumption, if you like.
Okay.
But there is just no flying of drones other than sanctioned by us on site. I can't control what you do once it's in the air, but certainly I will not give any permission to launch a drone.
No, I'm not looking for that.
Within, what people choose to do out with the building, I've got no control over.
Right.
But from a safety point of view, flying a drone near a substation is not a good idea.
Okay.
And it can endanger the apparatus and people in the area if there's a short circuit because something gets too close to conductors.
Okay. Could I interrupt for a moment? I don't hear particularly well. I'm having trouble hearing you with all the noise of the water. Would we be able to just stand in the reception area?
No.
Okay. This probably isn't going to be a particularly helpful conversation then, because I can't hear you very well.
Right. Okay.
Could you?
Have you got some ID that I can see?
Absolutely. Good. Sorry, I'm littering. Thank you.
So I'm still not clear what it is you want to film.
Just
Or
the whole
this
power
is a
station.
general inquiry.
The whole power station. For instance, imagine the drone being, I don't know, 50, 75 metres out over the loch, looking back, whole power station, and then probably a video sort of going from over there, panning around this way, sort of circling the power station. I don't know until I get up there, but that's a rough idea. If you're imagining me coming in, zooming in through people's windows, coming right up to an part of the station or anything, no interest in that. It'd be pointless. I'd get home, delete the picture. So there's no point taking it in the first place.
I'm not in a position to give you permission to film anything.
No,
What
that's
you
fine.
choose to do, I have no control over.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not here looking for permission. I'm here for two purposes. One, to let you guys know there's going to be a drone flying around, but also for my benefit to know, is there anything I should be aware of that a layperson might not know about?
Well, see, electricity is the primary risk, and as per all UK networks, the electricity is uninsulated. A buzz bar is just a conductor.
Okay.
So it's a conductor between two fixed points that has no insulation on it, and it's live all the time, and it's up in the air, so nobody is near it because it's up in the air.
Right.
Flying a drone has a
be up
material
there, yeah.
risk that you could create a short between two live conductors,
Okay.
which would...
Are you allowed to take a visitor to a point there where you can actually show me these things and tell me that's the most important bit to avoid? And I don't know. Or is it just more or less safe to fly around up there as long as I'm not near anything? Would that be a fair summary of
I
it?
think you're trying to lead me to a point where I'm going to give you a tour of the station with your body cam, which I'm not going to do.
No. I'm
Right.
getting that impression.
I'm not going to do
I'm
that.
not looking for a tour of the station.
Right, okay.
I am here to do my work and go home and have my lunch.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
all I can say is, I think you know what a substation looks like.
roughly.
It's got transmission towers, it's got cables, it's got transformers.
Okay.
It's got big signs saying danger of death, do not enter.
Right.
Right? So anything near that area
Okay.
could be unsafe.
Right. Okay. Shall I just crack on with it? I would think if there was anything.
If you're flying above Loch Ness, if you launch your drone and it flies along Loch Ness, no problem at all.
That obviously I would assume that, but I'm also going to be over the top of the power station.
Right. Well, if you fly a drone over the station, I will log a safety incident because
Right.
I've told you not to do it.
Well, I mean, okay. With respect, you haven't told me not to do it.
Okay.
It would have come up at some point if you were wanting to tell me not to do it.
Right.
Okay. What? So that's maybe getting us somewhere. You're telling me not to do it. Is there a safety reason for that? If doing it is going to be a safety...
I've just explained the safety reason. It's an operational asset with exposed live components.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let me put it a different way. What would you be writing in the safety report? A drone was flying over which caused a safety concern because what? What is the safety concern? And then I can choose to avoid it.
Well, if you turn your camera off, we can have a conversation. But
I'm not going to turn my camera off. I've already.
I think I'd like you to leave.
I've already had a very strange interaction here
I'd
today.
like you to leave.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll walk you to the gate.
You don't need to walk me to the gate. I can walk to the gate myself.
No, I think
but
I'd
I'd
like to just walk over to the gate.
It is important to me that I am conducting this flight safely. So obviously I've done my research, and there's nothing that's.
Well, you haven't.
Well, I've done my research as much as I was able to, right? But I'm also aware that people Googling stuff is not the same as coming and speaking to an expert such as yourself and saying, what can I safely do? What can I not safely do? What are the risks? What do I need to avoid? That sort of thing. Yeah. So, for instance, I'm not sure if I've already said this to you or if I said it to your colleague, but I was photographing oil tankers the other day, and the chap just said, fly anywhere you want, but don't go less than 50 metres directly over them because there's gas discharges and it can cause a spark from the drone.
Electrostatic and yeah.
Right. So that, I didn't know that. I would have flown over it and probably a lot lower than 50 metres as well. But because he gave me that advice, I obviously didn't. Is there any, you're saying flying over this facility would be logged as a safety incident,
Well,
but I don't understand why.
How do I know that the drone is capable of sustained flight and it's not going to fall out the sky and injure one of my staff?
You don't, other than you have to trust it's a drone that can be legally sold for commercial work in this country.
We deal in risks and mitigations, not trust.
Okay.
Right?
With respect, we're not talking about safety issues of the drone's operation. We're talking about the drone. For instance, Wayne said not to fly within 5 meters of a particular structure, but he said a name of it, and I have no idea what that structure is. Right? Now, that doesn't particularly matter to me because I know I'm not going to be within 5 meters of anything. So it doesn't matter if I know what I've got to stay 5 meters away from, because I won't be closer than 5 meters to anything. Mm-hmm. But you've now raised this issue that flying over the facility would be logged as a safety issue.
I think that the longer we have a conversation, the more I'm convinced that I wouldn't wish you to fly a drone near this facility.
Right.
Because I'm still not convinced. I've seen your press badge. Other than that, I have got no idea why you're here and why we're having this conversation, because it seems to be elusive.
What do you want to know? I'm taking stock images for news. Right. That's my job. They go into an agency's library. Mm-hmm. They're searchable by newspapers, magazines, etc. And if ever they
have a good day.
And if ever they need them.
Okay.
So you're not willing to.
No.
You're not willing to give me any helpful information.
I've already provided you with information. I think that's the conversation finished.
Rightio.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Cheerio. Oh, wow, that was a wild one. Okay, so we're definitely going to fly the drone. You'll notice when he escorted me off site, he escorted me to outside the gate, not outside the other gate. And also this area is signposted as a pedestrian area. So I don't think there are any legal issues with taking off from here. That chap was a very suspicious wee bunny. Not sure what was. I'm going to take the drone off from the road. I've got to say, that was really shoddy professionalism.
Home point updated.
Like when someone's just saying, could you tell me about any safety concerns?
Home point updated.
Why not just tell them? We're not doing video today, by the way. For this one, I'm just doing photographs. Because this is actually for work. This isn't for YouTube. Now, he mentioned that if the drone flies over the top of the building, he will have to log that as a safety concern or a safety incident, something like that. Now, from what I'm seeing, I don't think there's any point flying over the top of the building. And it would be an awful shame for him to make a false report. So I think the best thing I could do to help him would be to pop back over there when I've finished and let him know that the drone didn't go over the top. I think we might be able to get quite a nice shot here. Let's give this one a nice bit of negative space so some creative sub can put their copy down the side of it. Let's give it a little bit more actually. There you go, you can get a headline in there. I also want to let him know about some sort of issue with flying over these structures here. What a beautiful view of the loch. So we will go and let him know that we're down and we didn't fly over the top of the building. Oh. 443. Oh, hi, good afternoon. I'm down in the reception. I was speaking to a manager a few moments ago about the drone flight I was doing in the area. Was it you I was speaking to, by any chance? Okay, I can't remember the chap's name. Dear. Is it possible, is there a manager that's available to come down at the moment? It's just some information that I need to give him regarding the flight. I appreciate it, mate. Thanks very much. Cheers, bye, bye. Hello, I think I was speaking to you a few moments ago down in reception. It's just, I'm going to have to get away, but there was a safety issue during the flight that I need to let the chap know about. And I don't want to leave without having told him, but I've also got to go. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Cheers, bye, bye. Hello again. Won't keep you a minute.
Can we step out?
I'm just going to have to speak. I can't hear it properly outside.
Can we step out?
I just wanted to let you know, you'd mentioned... No, I'm going to speak to you here, mate. I can't hear properly out there because of all the noise.
Just to let you know that the police are on their way. So.
Are they? Okay. Well, I'm just going to speak to you here and then I'm heading off. Although if you... Have you actually phoned the police?
Yes, I have.
So now I have to wait for the police to arrive?
No, you don't, because I've given them your description, so they'll find you.
Well, I'm not going to leave if the police are coming. Anyway, pop back in a minute. I'm going to talk to you where I can actually have a conversation with you.
Listen, don't give me instruction. Leave the premises.
Are you a manager as well, sir? I'll just pass the information on to you. So your colleague had mentioned... Your colleague had mentioned that if the drone flew over the site, you'd have to record a safety...
I'll look forward to seeing it on your YouTube channel.
So I've come to let...
Police are on their way.
I've come to let you know. Excuse me, will you have the courtesy to listen to people? Wow, okay, so they really don't actually take safety all that seriously here, do they? Right. Okay, how do we actually tell them? If there are two managers here that aren't willing to listen to a safety report or a report of a safety incident, what on earth do we do? Right, okay, we'll leave it at that. You can only try so much. If the people that are actually in charge of safety are not willing to listen to things regarding safety, then, you know, what can you do? When you're telling someone there's been a safety issue that you want to report, and their answer is, the police are on the way and close the door. We're not exactly talking about the most professional operation here, are we? So, there you go. That was the Scottish Hydro Foyers electricity station. I think I'd probably say that was about the most aggressive response I've had. I mean, obviously, I've had people speak quite rudely, but they were just downright not fit for their job. Anyway, I think that's that for this one. Got the pictures at least. Job done. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye bye.